Taiwan, a small island nation off the coast of mainland China, has become a focal point of global anxiety. The reason? China claims Taiwan as its own, a breakaway province that must be brought back into the fold. The United States sees Taiwan as a democratic ally and a crucial player in the global technology market. This difference in perspective has created a powder keg, one that threatens to explode into conflict with devastating consequences for the entire world. China, under Xi Jinping, has made it clear that it will not tolerate any moves towards Taiwanese independence. Military exercises simulating attacks on the island have become increasingly frequent, sending a clear message of Beijing's resolve. The United States, while officially adhering to a one-China policy, has increased its military support for Taiwan, providing advanced weaponry and hinting at possible intervention in case of a Chinese invasion. This delicate balancing act has left the world wondering, what happens if China decides to take Taiwan by force? To understand the potential ramifications, we must first delve into the historical context that has brought us to this precipice. Taiwan's history is a complex tapestry woven from centuries of foreign influence and internal struggle. The island, once a Dutch colony, was incorporated into the Qing dynasty in the late 17th century. Japanese rule followed in 1895 after the First Sino-Japanese War, lasting for half a century. This period saw the modernization of Taiwan's infrastructure and economy, but also the suppression of Taiwanese culture and identity. The end of World War II brought about a new chapter in Taiwan's story. Japan's defeat led to the island's return to Chinese control, but this time under the Republic of China, led by Chiang Kai-shek's Kuomintang. By 1949, the Chinese Communist Party had emerged victorious in the Chinese Civil War, forcing the defeated Kuomintang government to flee to Taiwan. This division, born out of civil war and ideological struggle, has cast a long shadow over cross-strait relations, shaping the political landscape and fueling tensions that persist to this day. In recent years, the balance of power across the Taiwan Strait has shifted dramatically. China, under Xi Jinping, has grown increasingly assertive, projecting its military might and flexing its economic muscle. Xi Jinping has set a clear timeline, aiming for the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation by 2049, including the complete unification of China with Taiwan. Economically, Beijing has sought to isolate Taiwan internationally, pressuring countries to sever diplomatic ties with Taipei. Militarily, the People's Liberation Army has significantly increased its activities around Taiwan, conducting frequent air and naval exercises. These exercises serve as a show of force and a way to probe Taiwan's defenses. The message from Beijing is clear. Reunification is non-negotiable, and China is prepared to use all means necessary to achieve its goal. This ambition has added a sense of urgency to China's approach, leading to a more assertive posture towards Taiwan. China's military strategies towards Taiwan are complex and multifaceted, going far beyond simple displays of force. The People's Liberation Army has been investing heavily in capabilities designed to cripple Taiwan's defenses and morale. One key element of China's strategy is gray zone warfare, employing tactics that fall below the threshold of conventional warfare. Cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and economic coercion are all part of China's gray zone playbook. By disrupting critical infrastructure and sowing discord within Taiwanese society, Beijing aims to weaken Taiwan from within. China has also been rapidly modernizing its military, particularly its naval and missile forces. The People's Liberation Army Navy has undergone a dramatic transformation, acquiring advanced warships, submarines, and aircraft carriers. This naval buildup is designed to challenge U.S. naval dominance in the Western Pacific and potentially enforce a blockade of Taiwan. Furthermore, China's expanding missile arsenal poses a significant threat to Taiwan, with thousands of ballistic and cruise missiles capable of striking key targets. China's multi-pronged military strategy, combining conventional and unconventional warfare, poses a formidable challenge for Taiwan and its allies. The United States has long played a pivotal role in maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. For decades, Washington has walked a diplomatic tightrope, acknowledging China's claim over Taiwan while providing the island nation with the means to defend itself. This delicate balancing act, known as strategic ambiguity, has been a cornerstone of U.S. policy in the region. The foundation of this policy is the One China principle, which recognizes the People's Republic of China as the sole legal government of China. However, the U.S. interpretation of this principle differs significantly from Beijing's. While China views Taiwan as an integral part of its territory, the U.S. maintains that the island's status is unsettled and should be resolved peacefully. Despite its official stance, the U.S. has consistently provided Taiwan with billions of dollars worth of military aid. This support is enshrined in the Taiwan Relations Act, passed by Congress in 1979. The act commits the U.S. to providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself and considers any attempt to determine the island's future by force a grave threat to peace and security. The U.S. role in the Taiwan Strait is complex and multifaceted, balancing diplomatic sensitivities with security commitments. The potential consequences of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan extend far beyond the shores of the island nation. Economically, Taiwan plays an outsized role in the global supply chain, particularly in the semiconductor industry. The island is home to Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company (TSMC), the world's largest contract chip maker. A Chinese invasion or blockade of Taiwan would disrupt these supply chains, leading to shortages and price hikes for electronic goods worldwide. Strategically, a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could draw in other major powers, such as the United States, Japan, and Australia. China's growing military might and its increasingly assertive posture have already raised alarm bells among its neighbors. A conflict involving Taiwan would likely solidify these alliances and could lead to a new Cold War-style confrontation. A Chinese invasion of Taiwan would shatter the norms and principles that have governed international relations since the end of World War II. While the economic and strategic consequences of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan are significant, it is crucial to remember the human cost. Beyond the military casualties, a war over Taiwan would unleash a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions. Taiwan itself would bear the brunt of the suffering. A Chinese invasion would likely involve intense urban warfare, with devastating consequences for civilian populations. Hospitals, schools, and other critical infrastructure would be damaged or destroyed, leaving millions without access to basic necessities. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait would trigger a massive refugee crisis, with millions fleeing their homes. This influx of refugees would strain the resources of host countries and could lead to political instability and social unrest. The humanitarian consequences of a conflict in the Taiwan Strait would extend far beyond the immediate region. The potential for a conflict in the Taiwan Strait has significant implications for global energy markets, particularly the oil market. The Taiwan Strait is a vital shipping route for oil tankers transporting crude oil from the Middle East to major energy consumers in East Asia. A conflict in the region would disrupt these shipping lanes, leading to a spike in oil prices. China, as the world's largest importer of crude oil, would be hit particularly hard by any disruptions to energy supplies. This could have a ripple effect on the global economy, slowing growth and potentially triggering a recession. The involvement of major powers in a conflict with China over Taiwan could have far-reaching consequences for global security and stability. The potential for energy disruptions and geopolitical instability underscores the importance of finding a peaceful resolution to the Taiwan issue. Dialogue, diplomacy, and a commitment to international law and norms are essential to preventing a conflict. The Taiwan Strait is a tinderbox, and the stakes have never been higher. The potential for a conflict between China and Taiwan, potentially drawing in the United States and other major powers, is a sobering reminder of the fragility of peace. Navigating a path to peace in this complex environment will require careful diplomacy, strategic restraint, and a commitment to dialogue. All parties involved must prioritize peaceful solutions and avoid actions that could escalate tensions. China must refrain from military threats, while Taiwan must avoid provocative moves towards independence. The United States must continue to play a constructive role, supporting dialogue between Beijing and Taipei. The international community has a responsibility to encourage dialogue and de-escalation. A peaceful resolution to this long-standing dispute is essential for the peace and prosperity of the entire world.